Hello, it's Courtney with balancewithcourtney.com. I am passionate about helping others discover their happy and inspire them to make it a daily habit. My intention is to hack happy by interviewing experts to share their story, to inspire others, and create a happy movement. Today's happy expert is Cortney Alley. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to put my beautiful wife on so you can see both of us. She is going to interview me today. Say hi, Kat.
Hi, everybody. I have the honor of getting to interview Courtney, and I'm so very excited. So let's just jump right in.
All righty. And guys, we are in the same home, same trailer. So if you hear any echoing, that is why. So she's right there. I can see her. So we're going to have some fun today, and I'm glad we can share this with you guys.
Courtney is a passionate, confident, empathic leader and intuitive spiritual guide. For as long as she can remember, she has been helping others discover what they cannot see in themselves. Courtney is drawn to the potential in others and is passionate about bringing it out. She has created a business out of doing just that. Courtney empowers women to find their happy by bringing them home to their heart and soul. She is your intuitive spiritual guide to discover your passion, your gift, your best self, and a happy, balanced life. Courtney works from her heart. She is honest and kind. Trust in her, and she will find what is possible. Courtney will guide you on how to balance your body, mind, and spirit and support your journey. She is your supportive friend and your sunshine navigating your way. She bridges the gap from yourself today to your best self tomorrow. Through self-discovery and self-care, you will find your happy self again and make it a daily habit. What an intro.
Well, thank you. It's actually, babe, the first time I've heard it, someone else saying it. You know, when we create all this, our business and online, we read it to ourselves, but it's not until we hear it, someone else saying it, and we're like, I'm attracted to it. I want to find my happy, so I would grab. It is a little woo-woo, I would say, but guess what? I'm woo-woo, and woo-woo makes me happy.
Well, that is a perfect way to start off with our interview today. Why don't you share how you found your happy?
Such a beautiful story and so unique for everyone. So from as long as I can remember, I have been entertaining others. I remember my mom and dad would have these wine parties, get together in the evening with all their friends, and I would pull out my jukebox, get on top of the table, and put on a show. And I remember that feeling of being on that table and everyone looking at me and smiling and happy. And I got so much love and energy from everyone else. And I was in my happy then. I will never forget that feeling. So it was this deep self-love, this deep, that's the hardest thing I have discovered is putting it into words, this feeling. Words just don't give it enough. So I felt it then. And I found that no matter where I was or what I was doing, I was the leader. People were following me, or people were asking my opinion on things, or wanting to be my friend. Or I always got, why are you always smiling? Why are you always happy? And to me, it was just like breathing. And I didn't understand why someone would ask me that question. And honestly, I don't know when I lost it, but I did. And I believe it was right around when I got into high school. And you know, high school can be a really tough place for people. we're very impressionable, and we, for some reason, start to believe what other people say, and we lose what we believe. We lose our truth. And it really started to get to me, and people saw my light as offensive, and they would judge it, and it would make them uncomfortable. And, you know, I believe now that it was because they couldn't find it in themselves. So it didn't make them feel good. You know, it made them feel sad. And so, you know, I got made fun of. I got bullied. People weren't very nice. And so I started to realize that my true authentic self was attracting that. And I didn't want that happening anymore because that didn't feel good. And so I started to seek a different kind of happiness, like a short-lived happiness to make me feel good, because I was losing confidence in myself and I was losing love for myself. And so I started taking on addictions, doing things that were not true to me to make me feel good, being a person that I didn't even recognize anymore. And the deeper I got in that, and my sadness and my, I call it my darkness, my depression, the more I lost my light, and I no longer could see the sunshine anymore. And that still to this day is such a horrible feeling of losing yourself and not being able to find that smile, that sunshine within you that you've had before. And so it got pretty bad. I got to a point where I was suicidal. I was very depressed. I wasn't sleeping. I was doing a lot of things that you don't talk about at dinner parties. And I remember getting outside and getting some nature one day. Something told me I was doing 2 jobs at one time, and in between my jobs, something guided me to go on this trail that I had been before and take a walk. I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is I needed to go. So I walked down this trail, and it came to a river that I had seen many times before. And I stopped and looked over the river, and I had this warmness come over me. You're okay. You're going to be okay. You need to ask for help. And that never even occurred to me up to that point, to ask for help. I thought everything was happening to me was my fault. I was creating it. So why would I ask someone to help me out of this misery that I created? So I picked up the phone and I called my mom. And I remember her answering, and she heard my voice, and she just knew. She knew that I needed help. Whew. I didn't know this was coming. That is authentic, guys. That's telling your story. Let those go, guys. And so that's all I said to her is, Mom, I need help. And she asked me to come over, and she said, I will be here for whatever you need. And that started the journey to finding my happy again. It was a very long journey. It was, well, guys, it's like anything. You want to lose weight. You want to find the partner of your dreams. You have to do it every day. So every morning I woke up, even though I didn't want to get out of bed, I thought of something that brought me joy, and that got me out of bed. And then I thought of something else that brought me joy, and that got me one step further. And that's how my day was. You know, it was my cup of coffee in the morning. It was my drive to work that I could listen to my favorite podcasts. It was, I was going to see my best friend at work, or my daughter and I had a date night. You know, it was those little moments that I just waited for the next good moment and the next good moment and the next good moment. And before I knew it, it had been a year of doing that. And I started to slowly unravel all these boundaries and sadness around me and let it go. And when you're in the process, it is a lot. And you don't believe that you're getting anywhere. But it's like getting on the scale after 3 months of eating right and exercising, and all of a sudden your weight is gone. And you're like, oh my God, I did it. So I just kept at it. And I was committed. I was committed because I had an amazing supportive family. I was committed because I had a daughter that needed me and that I adored deeply, more than I adored myself at the time. And I did it because I had had that feeling before and I wanted it back. I knew there was so much in me that I wasn't saying anymore. Sorry, I just noticed someone outside our trailer coming up to our bikes. Got me a little distracted. We're learning new energies every day, guys. So I just kept at it every day. And if I was to give you one thing that changed my life faster than anything, it was gratitude. When you can list things you are grateful for every day, say them out loud, think them, be in gratitude, you can find something lovely, something joyful, something fun, something to laugh with every day, every day. So I remember coming home one day from work and I was having a dark day and I turned on Oprah. So many women have been at this moment. And that's when she was introducing gratitude. And I was like, write what you're grateful for every day. How is that going to help me? Oprah says it. I'm going to do it. So I went out and got a journal that I loved. I remember it was this beautiful blue journal with the sunshine. And I opened up the page and I just stared at the blank page. What am I grateful for? Nothing popped in my head. And that was huge for me because I had so much beauty all around me and I could not see it. I did not feel I was worthy. So what did I write? I'm grateful for my morning coffee. And then I sat for a while. And then I wrote, I'm grateful that I have a daughter. And then I sat for a while. And before you know it, I had 1, I had 2, I had 3, I had 4. Some days I couldn't stop writing what I was grateful for. And somehow through that process, I found me again. And I found what made me happy, what lit me up. And I decided not to give it away anymore. The people that love me for who I am is who I want in my life. I was no longer going to let people control how I was, how I felt, what I put out to the world. And so I kept doing that every day. Gratitude. Yeah, out of everything, it was being grateful. And so when I felt that I was at a place to really be the person I was meant to be, I decided it was my duty to share it with the world. So I now want to be that for everyone else. I want to help them through their unhappiness and find what happy is. And telling your story, guys, that is the first step to finding your happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was so many points. Wow. So many points in that story. First, of you being able to trust that intuition, that higher self, that spirit talking to you, telling you to go on this walk, and how that one walk of seeing something you had seen before, how that became your pivot point. And step by step, it's that consistency you always talk about. That step by step of I did one thing one day and then the next and then the next, and then all of a sudden it's a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a beautiful way to show why you have to be consistent with anything, because it doesn't happen overnight. We don't become unhappy overnight. It's a buildup. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to become happy overnight. That totally makes sense. And all the feels when you're telling your story and the struggle, and then how you reached out and were able to ask for help when you knew I don't have the answers and I need some help with this. So beautiful, because so many people don't. And that's exactly what you're here to do, is to help them. So beautiful.
Thank you.
So why don't you define for us, what does happy mean to you?
So that feeling when you meet someone that you've known before, or you think of someone you love, or gosh, you're about to go enjoy one of your favorite meals of all time. You get that butterfly in your tummy. There's nothing like that feeling. That's what happiness feels to me. And that is my guide. If I don't get that giddy feeling, that fun, light, with ease feeling inside me once a day, I know I need to do, which we'll go over soon, the things that bring my happiness out. So that is a daily feeling. It's like my shot of happiness every day. And when I feel that, I know my body is balanced and I am in my happy place, my personal happy bubble, I call it. So defining it is a feeling. It's, God, if I was going to say words, it is grace. It is ease. It is light. It is the sunshine, sunflowers, the ocean, a beautiful sunset. I mean, anything that lights me up and brings me joy is the feeling I feel in happiness.
What a beautiful way to explain that, because most of us get really wrapped up in our thinking. You know, we think about what makes us happy, and happiness is not a thought. It always comes from that feeling. So I love that you wrapped it up in, you know, that excitement, butterflies, and how you just, it's like a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mental checklist.
Right.
Beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. And I feel like I should address this. You know, when you meet someone that you're like, oh, I like them, and you get those butterflies, what that is to me is an energetic connection. So it's like my energy meeting your energy, and we like each other. And that is real shit, you guys. That really happens. And you can have that energy connection with yourself. Can you imagine a world where you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you're like, you get butterflies? I like you. That is possible. That is the love I'm talking about, that you need to create. You need to accept. You need to believe. It is so important, you guys. It's the foundation of everything, is loving yourself unconditionally.
That is so beautiful and perfect that you said that, because especially with unconditional love, most of the time people get that wrong, because they're coming into it with, you know, I love you unconditionally as long as you X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. It's like, well, those are conditions.
Yeah.
And the fact that your foundation of the work that you do is based completely off of starting with yourself. And people don't hear that concept or that idea of unconditionally loving yourself. And it is so important. You know, we teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
And if we don't treat ourselves well, guess what you're probably going to get in life?
Right.
There's a lot of people that do the same.
Yep. And when you have love in yourself, you attract love. I mean, that's just the way it is, you guys. When you're not feeling love for yourself, or you're having a bad day, guess what? Don't you attract a lot of shit in that day? So, yeah, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but check yourself, guys. Before you go out into the world and give to others, check yourself. Make sure you are grounded. Make sure you're in a happy place. Make sure you want to go out and interact with people. Don't put that person out in the world if you don't want to be there, because you're doing nothing but affecting other people, and they take it personal. They think that you don't like them, and it's not personal. So like I always say, like, you grab your keys before you walk out the door, close your eyes and ground yourself and check yourself. How am I feeling? What do I need today? Am I ready to go out and be me?
All so important things to think about. And in addition to that is sharing with other people and communicating that, you know, I mean, we make it a rule with each other to communicate how we're feeling or how we're doing or what we need that day. And it's definitely a muscle that I work with much more than you. You're much more natural at it. You've been doing it much longer. But when we're able to do that, and I mean, you can do that with anybody that is in your life,
Right.
and just letting them know, hey, this is where I'm at, nothing to do with you. And then they have the option if they want to spend time with you at that point or not. And everybody's just on the same page. I mean, it's so, guys, the thing that Cortney says about all of this, it's simple. She doesn't have any difficult list of rules to follow. I mean, everything is like, oh yeah, huh, that kind of makes sense. It's all very simple, and it goes back to that consistency of practicing. So
Yeah, take care of you first, guys.
yeah. So in thinking about all that consistency, how do you maintain your happy and make it a daily habit?
My favorite word of all time is my morning me time. So you know this very well. Cortney is all about her me time. And why is that, guys? That is my one time a day I get all to myself to do, to be whoever I want to be. Whatever I need, I let myself have. So that morning me time is all mine. It's my own personal bubble. No one gets to go in. A perfect example is this morning. So Kat and I are now living in a very small trailer. So we're getting creative of finding ways to have our own me time. And I got up a little later than usual, and it's a non-negotiable for me, guys. I have my morning me time. So I came down to the ground floor, and she was up in bed, and I texted her and I said, can you please stay in bed until I'm done with my morning time? And guys, I wasn't making her up there for hours. She knows I take about 30 minutes, but she knows without giving me that, I'm not fun for the day. I'm just not. And so she said, yes, of course. And that felt so amazing that I had someone next to me to support what I needed more than anything. And so I took that time without feeling guilty, guys. That's your time. Take it. Take it. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it. And then go back to your family and your friends and show them an amazing self. Show them love. Show them gratitude. And believe me, they'll give you me time anytime you want. So maintain is morning me time. If something comes crazy, I sleep in late, I don't get my usual morning me time, I create it throughout the day. So instead of having a long me time, I will have several short bursts. What does that look like? Sometimes that means putting on my headphones, guys, where people think that, she's listening to music. I'm not listening to anything. What that does is establishes a boundary so people don't interrupt me and I can go within and get what I need. Or I'll go in the bathroom and it'll take a little longer than usual because I'm in there just sitting and breathing and finding my center, my alignment, so I can go out and be my best self. And I do this several times throughout the day. So once again, it's daily practices to maintain your happiness.
And I love that you said that because, a lot of people, we both own our businesses, so we get to create whatever kind of schedule works for us. And I'm sure that there's a lot of listeners out there that are like, yeah, but I already have to get up and get ready for work. And how do I do all this? So it's so helpful that you threw in that tip to say, you can take little mini me time breaks throughout the day. And you can do this anywhere. And I mean, the grateful journal, sitting and meditating, you taught me a lot of those concepts since we've been together. And being able to do some of that throughout the day is so helpful. As long as you get it in there for your day. You will, when you start making this a habit, trust me, you will feel the difference of days that you either miss it or you don't get enough of it. You will absolutely, I always think of us as like little batteries, and you'll feel that you're not fully charged the way you need to be.
Definitely.
Don't do it.
Definitely. And you guys, I challenge you, when you get in your routine, don't do it one day. See how you feel. Yeah. I used to tell this, I was a massage therapist for 18 years. And I used to tell my clients, I challenge you to go out and find somewhere else to get massage. Then you will know I'm your right massage therapist. Because guess what? You miss them. No one can give you what they gave you because you are meant to be with them. And I think too much people feel like they're going to offend someone, for looking for someone else. But you don't want anyone to stay with you that doesn't want to stay with you, right? You only want to attract people that you can take care of and love the way they need to be loved. It's not personal, guys. It's not personal.
So beautiful. And it goes back to the point of, we're all here to have our own experiences.
Yes.
And sometimes your experiences include the people that you know, and sometimes you have experiences with new people, or you have experiences just by yourself.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like. It's,
yes.
yeah, I love that it's not personal, because
yes.
it's all what you want to get out of it, and what do you want to go do today or feel today.
Right.
So in talking about maintaining your happy habits, when you're not feeling happy, how do you get yourself back into alignment?
Mm. Number one, feel your feelings. Okay. So we tend to, when we wake up on the wrong side of the bed, we're just like, serious? I have this to do. I have this to do. I have to entertain this person. And then we look at it like, why are you doing this to me? Life is not doing things to you. I'm going to say that again. Life is not doing things to you. Everything that happens in your life is for you. Okay? So if you're waking up on the wrong side of the bed, that is the way it is meant to be. There is some beauty in that. So the number one thing I do is acceptance, and I feel my feelings and I acknowledge them. I hear you. I see you. I am going to take care of you today. So it's a different kind of day. It's, what do I do today to bring me joy? I actually have a joy journal. I've listed all the things that bring me joy, because when you're having a down day and you say do something that brings you joy, guess what? Nothing pops in. You can't even think. All you can think of, I just need a glass of wine. I just need to go back to bed. I just need everyone to leave me alone, right? All that comes in your head. Grab out that journal, start reading off things, and the first thing that you're like, go do it. That is where the joy is. Those days are so magical that if you just take time, once again, to close your eyes and breathe and ask your body what it needs, something will drop, you guys. You need nature. You need to bake. You need to get out your painting supplies and paint a beautiful mural. Whatever it is, it will pop in, and go with it, you guys. Go with the flow. I call them intuitive hits. They are amazing. They will save your life. You just have to listen to them. So the number one way that I help myself when I'm struggling is I feel my feelings and I do things that bring me joy.
Again, such a beautiful concept, and it's so simple. I mean, wow, when you're feeling sad, do something that makes you happy. It's not rocket science, but it's something that we always forget. And I love that you have a list of all those things that bring you joy. And I keep a gratitude journal because you taught that to me, but I've never just ripped through and made a list of things that bring me joy. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to post it someplace that I can look at it and have it visible. So the next time I'm feeling overwhelmed or flustered or like, oh my gosh, I got a gajillion and one things to do today, or this didn't go right or whatever, I'm going to have that readily accessible. I love that idea.
Take a joy break.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We need several of those a day, guys.
Yeah. And just, I mean, even thinking about the things that bring you joy. And even if you didn't have the time to go on a full hike, but just being able to stand outside in nature, feeling the sun, or smelling the grass, or listening to the birds. I mean, it doesn't take that much.
Right. And everything's on YouTube, guys. You could sit at your desk and you could play ocean sounds, or you could look at Mexico. You want to visit someplace in Mexico. You can bring anything you need to your front door within seconds.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Or you
Brilliant.
can watch your goat videos like Kat. I mean, it's whatever you need that brings you joy.
Baby goat. Okay. Awesome. So, Cortney, please, please give your fans one last piece of advice for other people that are trying to find their happy.
Okay. So before you even finish the question, something was downloaded, and I'm going to say that because out of everything, it was the number one thing I did to protect my energy. So some people don't understand what that means. I'm extremely empathic, so I am very sensitive. I give my energy away very easily, and I take on other people's energy really easily, which means I get drained very fast. I get exhausted very fast. So I have had to establish boundaries. And I know when you hear boundaries, it sounds like such a bad word, boundaries. You guys, it has saved my life. What does a boundary look like? A boundary looks like, have you ever heard of someone saying, treat people the way the way you'd like to be treated? Or what is that quote? You teach people how to treat you. That's the other one. That's all boundaries, guys. You are establishing who you are and how you want to be treated, and you're putting that into the world. And if someone does something or says something that does not feel good to your heart or does not feel truth, you either walk away or you stand up for yourself. You do not allow yourself to be treated unfairly or without love. You give out what you expect to receive. So if you want to be loved, give love. If you want respect, give respect. If you want to establish boundaries, let others establish boundaries, and don't take it personal. Wait a second, we have a visitor. Just a second. All righty, can you still hear me? Okay, we had someone pop on the call. How crazy is that? She must have meant to be here, right? So establishing boundaries, guys, that was the number one thing I needed to do. Oh, nugget. Sorry, I got very distracted. All kinds of things are happening. See, this is the kind of stuff that you just go with it. You don't let it upset you. You don't, oh, this is bad. I got to redo it all. Everything happens the way it is planned. Just go with it. It keeps things light. It keeps things fun. It keeps you being authentic. Just go with it. So number one nugget, guys, establish boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries are so, so important because it's like rules to a game. We don't know how to play the game if you don't know what the rules are. And if I don't know what the rules are for myself or the boundaries that I set for myself, I don't know if somebody's treating me well in service of me or they're not treating me well because I have no structure. There's no guidelines.
Right.
And like Cortney was saying earlier, guys, you really have to take the time to do the work to get to know yourself, and no one else can do that work for you. You have to look at yourself and dive deep and pay attention to that feedback that you're getting. When things feel great, when she's saying happy to me means like those butterfly feelings, that's feedback of saying, yes, do more of that. That's good stuff.
Yes.
And then when you get these like heaviness feelings, or, you're not feeling light, you're not feeling in your joy, or you're not able to find things to be grateful for, that's feedback saying, wherever you're at, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, stop, check back in, and adjust.
Yes. Amen. Amen. There's been thousands of times I have walked into a situation, walked into a restaurant, walked down a certain road, and just instantly I just knew, no, this is not feeling right. Listen to that. That is a boundary, guys. That is a boundary right there. So listen to it, honor it. If you're not going to honor it, say, I hear you, but I am taking on this challenge. And go in with love. You might be surprised.
That's such a great point, because again, oftentimes when people think of boundaries, it's all in their head, but the boundaries are what makes your heart happy. And I love that you said you get this feeling, you know, if you walk in a room or you get someplace, you didn't say, I think about this. You said, I feel a certain way. And so that's such a great reminder to all your listeners that, you know, our senses and our feedback come in many, many different forms. It's not just your brain. So pay attention to all of them. We get spoken to in a lot of different ways, a
Yes,
lot of
we
different
do.
ways. And pay attention. If something's out of the normal, don't just dismiss it. Don't just let it walk past. Stop and really feel into that.
Yes.
Great point. Really great point.
Thank you.
So it was fabulous speaking with you today and just getting inspired and learning something new. So please tell us how fans can get in touch with you.
I would love that. So balancewithcortney.com is my website, and it is full of me, you guys. I have put my heart and soul into that. It's extremely authentic. I put all my favorite things on there. I've created different gifts. I've put them on there. I've made my own meditations. It is all love, guys. So please, please check that out. And through the website, you can see all the other avenues I'm at. But I do want to address my favorite tribe, Happy Balance, and that is on Facebook. And you can ask to join that group. It's daily inspiration, guys. Support from an amazing tribe. I'm on there live twice a week. I do expert interviews like we're doing today. And it's just good stuff to make you feel good and support your happiness. And please reach out, you guys. I am here if you have any questions or you just need some help. We all need to ask for help. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for taking your time for us and for your growth. I hope you discover new habits to support your happiness. Please reach out with questions for Cortney, or if you need more support, in our Happy Balance Facebook group or at balancewithcortney.com. If you need one-on-one inspiration and support, please book a happy call. I am here to help you. Thank you, honey.
Thank you. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure.
Goodbye.